I'm going to talk a little bit about desire and the importance of disciplining desire. Often desire is painted as the bad guy, and something that, sort of like a thief in the house, and you want to just get rid of it, throw him out. But that attitude doesn't work. If you try and throw a thief out of the house, he might just shoot you. It's better just to let him steal what he wants and go his way. And may not be a completely accurate metaphor, but to try and rise above desire by just cutting it off and trying to get rid of it is the wrong approach. It can never work. It's not, as a Buddhist might say, skillful means. The fact of the matter is, all of us are born of desire. We're born of desire, and we're born with desire. If our mother and father didn't have desire, we would have never been born. And the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree, and we were born with desire for a reason. But there's a difference between being controlled by desire and controlling desire and making desire, part of the path to liberation and freedom. Well, that's what I'm going to talk about now. How to make desire part of the path to liberation and freedom, rather than view it as the bad guy. Basically, desire is strong in us because we know nothing better, know nothing else. We have strong desire for food, and even within food we have certain cravings that seems so great and important to satisfy. Of course, there's desire for the opposite sex. That also controls us and seems very important to us, and very difficult to rein in. There's desire for material objects, hankerings after fancy clothes or technology that we wish to have, and just lack of contentment with the material things we have. So basically, with respect to all of these things, we have a lack of contentment with our material wants, our desire for sex and food. And we're not content because these desires are our companions, and we know nothing other. So the fact of the matter is that when we read that great sages are not controlled by their desires, we kind of read into this that they don't have desire, that they don't desire food, or they don't desire sex, or they don't desire material things. But the texts don't actually say that they don't have an inclination towards these things. What the texts say is they've risen above those things. And that's the whole key right there to understanding. Nothing says that we should not have desire. If you look at the sutra text, it doesn't anywhere say we should end desire. It simply says we should rise above our desires. That's the implied meaning, anyway, in all the texts. So, what this is saying is that we're confused, not because we believe so strongly in our desires, but that we don't believe strongly enough in emptiness, in the true nature of our mind, the clear light of pure awareness, undifferentiated awareness. So this is the point, that if it's understood in terms of practice, it can make the difference of night and day in how capable we are to actually rising above desires. So it's a matter of how we frame our mind. If we, think authoritarianly, like a dictator, I'm going to cut off desire, I'm going to block them out, I'm going to renounce them and stuff. Well, one of two things will happen. You'll be even more afflicted by desires. Just like kicking a barking dog to try and get rid of it. It just wants to get at you more. So you'll inflame the desires by just trying to kick them out or block them. And if you do succeed, these blocked desires will manifest themselves in harmful ways. Maybe anger, maybe hatred, maybe repressed lust and confused thinking. And as we know, there's so many examples. If one just reads the news over the years of people who tried to block their desires in all the unseemly ways that those desires found to manifest. So unless we realize that the problem isn't that our desires are so great, the problem is that our realization of emptiness is so small. So if we have the wisdom to see this, how we will proceed will be to increase our understanding and realization of emptiness and the true nature of our mind, so that our awareness of that is so much greater than our desires, that our desires that seem so important at one point in our lives seem so incidental at another point in our lives. And if we can do that, that's the way to deal with desire. That will work. And we can be a normally functioning human being without having desire the main event in our lives. So here's to the realization of emptiness. It's for you because it's your true nature.